Our next guests are the Roan Mountain Hilltoppers from the Johnson City area of East Tennessee. They're one of the finest family groups in string band music, and their roots are rich and deep in this tradition. I've appeared with the Roan Mountain Hilltoppers at several festivals around the country, and one of my favorite songs they do is called Old Granny Rattletrap. They learned this from their Uncle Johnny Birchfield as a traditional song and changed it to suit their 1968 van, which they say is on its third engine and still going strong. I know that any of you musicians out there traveling the highways can identify with this. Here's Old Granny Rattletrap. We're real proud to have the Roan Mountain Hilltoppers with us today, and I thought that we'd just talk with you all a little bit about how you got started, where you're from, and so forth. And we'll start with Creed here. Let's see, where were you raised, born and raised?
Roan Mountain, Tennessee.
That's in the eastern part of the state,
Yeah, that's
right?
up in the eastern part of it.
And about how old were you when you started playing?
I'm about 10-year-old.
I see, and you started on the banjo, did you?
Started on fiddle first.
Oh, you did? Was it kind of a factory fiddle? Or?
No, it was a fiddle made out of a cigar box.
Well, why out of a cigar box?
Well, there wasn't no fiddles. There just wasn't no factory fiddles then when I started.
Would you have neighbors who played the fiddle?
Yeah, my daddy played the fiddle, and he'd pick a banjo, an old homemade banjo. He made the fiddle and banjo, is what we learned on.
Mm-hmm.
And he had the head of it out of an old groundhog hide, and made it out of cherry wood, the banjo.
Mm-hmm. And then did you learn some tunes from him?
Oh, yes, yeah.
Well, what kinds of events? What would it be like when you would play? Where would you play in those times?
Oh, we'd play up there for corn shuckers, bean hullings, and all such that.
Mm-hmm.
Dances.
How many people would come to those dances?
Oh, there'd be a good crew of them. They'd be 25, sometimes 30 at one time there.
Dance in the house?
Dance, yeah. We'd shuck the corn up and rake the shucks back out of the way, and then we'd have a big dance.
Mm-hmm.
Or hull the beans and rake the hulls back and have a big dance.
You do the work first, though,
Oh,
wouldn't
yeah, yeah, we do get the work done.
This is Creed Birchfield. Joe Birchfield, you've been playing the fiddle for quite a while. About how long have you been playing?
Yeah, right small, well, practically old, well,
Since you were a small
off
kid?
and on, yeah.
Well, what kind of a fiddle did you start off with?
I started off with the same kind he did there.
Cigar box.
box.
Well, did you have only one cigar box fiddle between you?
That's all.
Is that right? Well, didn't you have some fights over who'd get to play it?
No, we never did fight none.
Oh, well, I hope not. What was one of the first tunes that you played?
Well, I disremember now. I can't remember it. It's been so long ago.
But it would be something like the tunes that you play now?
Yeah, like he used to play now.
When you started to play, did you play in the cross tuning, in other words, the open tunings?
Yeah.
But
And them cross keys.
that's, in other words, in the high G, you call it?
Yeah, high G, and standard G,
Mm-hmm.
and D, and C, and A.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of
Yeah.
And a lot of F?
Yeah.
Well, we have Bill Birchfield over here. I'm sure that you have a lot of people questioning you about how you started and why you play that overhand style on the guitar.
Yeah, they've been quite several of them. Everybody asks me, though. I can't give them exact, correct answer on it because it's not. Well, to me, it's backwards, and if it was to look at, it looks kind of stupid. But anyway, I got this feller. He had a little old cheap guitar, and he was drunk one night, and I ran into him. I thought the guitar was the greatest thing I ever laid eyes on, so.
I'm intrigued to watch you get some of the runs going up on those bass strings there. I've never seen anybody ever play overhanded.
They claim there are one more of us, Thumb Carlisle. He used to play that way before he died.
Oh,
I
right.
reckon I'm the second one, that's it.
When you all started playing, was it just the banjo and the fiddle, or did you have the guitar?
No, banjo and fiddle. Me and him started on it first. Started the banjo and fiddle. When we started playing, there wasn't no guitar, and there wasn't no mandolins.
Mm-hmm.
It's just an old homemade banjo and a homemade fiddle.
Well, now, when did the guitar start coming in? Do you remember anything about that?
Yeah, that guitar didn't come in for years after we'd learned how to play the old fiddle and old banjo.
Around the time of the Depression or after that?
No, it was before the Depression.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
I wonder if you could play us a tune like that. Oh, that Sally Ann. That...
Yeah, we can play.
Okay.
We can play it like it.
enjoyed the chance to listen to some of the old-time string band music of the South. On behalf of the Roan Mountain Hilltoppers and the Stillhouse Reelers, I'd like to thank you for tuning in.